Uh-huh. Hey, sorry, a little late there. How you doing? Oh, I should probably turn that on. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Dope.
I need to get the settings.
All right. Let me get Bob up. And while you're doing that, I'm gonna just say hello to folks, okay? Hey Kenobi, hey Katie, hey Cold, hey Caroline, hey Kenobi. Oh, well, I already did that. Hey Nightbot. There we go. Alright. Hey Yo Blocks. Hey, not just a plain Jane. Hey Thespian. Let me know when you're good. Alright. While we were waiting for the settings to be fixed. Oh hey Uncle John. Yeah. Hey Crassus, hey Peter. Yeah. Yeah, so we're bringing back some React videos today.
Okay, I think I'm good.
So, alrighty. Gonna sing me a little something, we'll see where we're at.
Sure. You say the price of my love's not a price that you're willing to pay. You cry in your tea, but you hurl in the sea when you see me go by. Oh, I so sad. Remember we made an arrangement when you went away. Now you're making me mad. Remember, despite our estrangement, I'm your man. You'll be back, soon you'll see. You'll remember you belong to me. You'll be back, time will tell. You'll remember that I served you well. Oceans rise, empires fall. We have seen each other through it all. And when push comes to shove, I will send a fully armed battalion to remind you of my love. Da 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 da
All right.
You say your love.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
we're good. So, I, I'm gonna mute the stream real quick. I'm gonna ask you something. It's not like deeply personal, but like, it is gonna be like a more personal question, and I just don't want that to be aired
Okay.
live.
Thank you.
No problem. You know, I figure why not be decent about it, right? So give me a sec.
Mhm.
Okay. So what we're gonna do is, for those who were present yesterday, I was doing character work, and one of the things that I've been working on recently is that a lot of times the body can get tight depending on how we react to what we feel in the moment. So we're going to do that with the student. So anyway, that was the question I had to ask because, that seems like something you should probably ask about. All right. So what is the tune about?
It's a little bit of annoyance, loss, anger at the loss.
Okay. So what I want to do is I want to discuss. Have you taken formal acting classes? Have you ever like studied Udahagen or anything?
No.
Okay. So we're going to talk about some key concepts, right? So there is the objective, which is the psychological rationale for the character. Usually you break that up into like throughout the song, so it's like really specific, but we can just choose one. So who is the person you are singing to, and what do you want from them? Which would be your desired result.
I would think that I'm singing to John Adams, and I want um, the colonies that he represents to understand that it's like, hey, we're like you like no, you're mine. You can't. This isn't. Just to remind you, you know, you can pretend. You can have your little victories and you can write your silly letters, but you like, yeah, I still own you. Like, what do you mean?
Okay. So that's the dynamic in the relationship, which will help us answer what the obstacle is. But what I want to know is what do you want? What do you want John Adams to do specifically? What behavior is he doing that you want to change?
Um,
Here, let's do this.
to stop complaining, I
To stop.
guess.
Okay, stop
That seems
complaining.
like it.
Okay. What is in the way of this moment? Like emotionally, right? Why would you like? Is there a status difference? Are you afraid of rejection? Like, what are you afraid will happen if you fail?
Rejection. I mean, it feels like they're. It feels like they're. It feels like they're forgetting that like we're a family. Basically, it's like they want to cut me off.
Okay,
That's it.
okay, so the obstacle is the rejection and the breaking of family. Pretty powerful stuff. Okay. So then the objective is for him to reprioritize family over duty, right? Would that be fair?
Yes.
Okay. So family over duty. What does that look like specifically? What actions would John Adams take? So, this could be simple, like morning coffee with the family. You know?
Oh, true.
Yeah,
True.
just like time,
So,
right? Like specific
time, yeah. Spend time with me. Yes.
Right. Yeah, and then like so the reason I say like morning coffee with the family is because it helps to have like just a couple of images, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just a couple like what do you specifically want? And then you can have a couple of images that you can think of. So what I would do is I'd make it personal. Like in your life, what do you think of as like quality time?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Movie?
Sitting on the couch watching together. Yeah.
All right. So sitting on the couch watching a movie, morning coffee with the family, stuff like that. All right. So, now, just vaguely, do you have familiarity with rejection and the breaking of family in part? You don't have to give me specifics, but I imagine you're familiar with that sentiment because, you know,
Yes.
you've lived a life.
Uh-huh.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we don't need to get into that.
No.
Because something tells me you and I are both emotional creatures. So I don't think that's
Very.
going to be a problem. Right? So we have the obstacle, we have the objective. Now, this is where we choose the active verb. And the active verb, or verbs, are the tactics we use. And it's a weird thing. Like, we're using our voice. So, for example, like, I hug you, but I used my voice to do it. And what it does is it focuses our intent. It's our strategy to get what we want, which is family time. So if you want to look at the words and the lyrics and think like, what would be some actions, like, and make them like really, like I attack you isn't specific enough. Like I stab you, right? Now, why stabbing would make someone want to spend quality time, I don't know. But like an act of love, right? Head scratches, hugs, etc. Right? So you think of a strategy or something like that, and you come up with a couple of verbs. Right? And we're gonna play, so you don't have to think of the perfect one. You can just throw some out there.
Yeah. Oh, so. Well, they repeat remember a lot.
Remember.
So, yeah, so it's like I'm trying to get you to remember
So
that
remind,
that we're
evoke,
family. Yeah.
remind, evoke, love, hug, slap, because sometimes you get angry at those you love. You know, that could be relevant somewhere in there. Not everything's going to be hunky dory and lovely, right?
Yeah.
So those are just things to try. Now, so those are your active verbs. What I would want to do now is something that I've just started to do, and it's something that I think you could benefit from, because I think, like me, you're an emotional creature. And what it is that we have to fight against the obstacle, right? So if we fear rejection and the breaking of family, and we let that overtake us, like, we'll have a lot of tension because we're just going to be afraid. So we're going to feel that. People like you and I, we don't need things like emotional recall. We can, if you're having trouble like feeling the feels. But we need to get our focus on getting what we want in a way that is hyper considerate of the other person. because we need to overcome our obstacle, which is our hesitation. In focusing on the objective and using verbs to kind of stay focused, we can be focused on the other person. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Read the lyrics a little bit. I'm going to send this to you. What I might start doing is I might have like a student dossier for like student notes and stuff, because like that might be a good thing to do. I'll have to talk to people about that, but in the meantime, here's a DM. Right. So focus on the words a little bit. You don't have to sing. But what I want you to do is, we have all these posture things that we've done. Ribcage expansion, right? Back, all that stuff. If when you focus on, give me 1 second. I want to take care of something. PBT, I've read some of your YouTube comments. I was thinking about how to respond, and the reality is that if someone wants help singing, they have to join the Discord and they have to be active, and that's what they have to do. And I can't make exceptions for that because I just have too many people. And regarding the comment around like conventions or something like that, there's not much I can do there because I have trouble doing that myself. So I don't think I can help you with what you're asking for. And I haven't been able to figure out, I wanted to actually think about it. But since you're here in the live stream, I just wanted to, do that and say that much. So we don't have to have a conversation with KD and then KD comes to me and I say no, because I can't do anything. So we can save ourselves some time and just, we gotta move on, okay? All right. So, sorry for that. What were we doing?
I'm looking at the words.
Right. Okay. So you're looking at the words, and what I would like to do is, when you are focused on breathing and paying attention to your body, and notice what specific muscles are tight as you experience the obstacle, right? Imagine being rejected. Imagine failure as you go through the words, and just breathe with the ribcage expansion that we've been working on, right? With checking in with your hands and stuff like that. See what happens when you're emotionally experiencing the obstacle, and then we can work on that, okay?
Okay.
And while you're doing that, I'm gonna talk to some folks, okay?
Okay. Yeah.
And let me know when you're done. Feel free to interrupt, okay?
Okay.
Have a good lurk, you know? The, yeah, so this is, something that I've been doing with, oh, hey, Hish Posh. I thought I gave you VIP. Aren't you VIP? Let me fix that. The thing that, I realized, when doing Music Box of Fate at Avkai, that was the first time as an actor I was able to translate what I do as an actor into singing. Because, historically, I get really tight when I get emotional. And you know, I've been doing all this tension work with students, and it ends up being the case where oftentimes, you know, like people will feel feelings and they'll get tight, or they'll get scared and they get tight. And we've seen time and time again what happens when people focus on the objective. This particular student has been very diligent on working on physical tension. And despite the effort, there's been improvement, for sure. But if I were to keep just doing the physical work, what would happen, I think, is that the progress would still be, it'd be there, but it'd be slow, still. And because the muscles that we're trying to release still are tight from lesson to lesson. And last lesson for the student, I tried to use like bombacity and movement and character work, and it made a big difference. So my thinking is that, and this is what I've been doing for myself, is can we understand what emotional triggers
Okay.
are associated with what body part? Okay. Okay. So what do you feel physically, specifically, like location wise? What area of the body gets kind of fakakta?
Chest.
Mhm.
Chest and a little bit the arms.
Okay. That makes sense. Right? Particularly probably these, right?
Hold on.
Yeah. I can point out the muscle and the anatomy for you if you want.
Yes, please.
Yeah. The clavicular head of pectoralis major.
Oh!
Yeah, that bitch.
Yeah.
Right here. Right?
Yes. Pressing on that, yes. That is...
Yeah. Because that makes us feel vulnerable. So if we're afraid of rejection, right? Yeah. Now, it makes sense that if that's tight, here, let's go to the anatomy here. Can you see the anatomy?
Yes.
All right. If this is tight, look what it's going to pull on. Your bicep. Right? So this could possibly be very tight. And then, you know, your bicep, you could be clenching as well. Right?
Yes.
So, now read the words again. This time, focusing on the objective and the active verb. And keep breathing. Now, the obstacle is going to come. You don't need to think about that one. You're going to feel it. You need to focus so much on the other person that you can keep this nice and soft. And again, I'm going to chat with folks while you do this work. And just flag me down. Bob was not decapitated yet. The night is still young, and it's not even nighttime yet, so we have plenty of time. Rest assured, it is likely that Bob will be beheaded. I look forward to it, because that's normal, well-adjusted adult behavior. Anyway. So, to be like transparent about this, yeah, EMDR stuff, nice. 55 times already, damn. I'm on a roll. I'm on a murdering spree. So, you know, I've been all about that, you know. EMDR, right? I want to advocate for people being responsible for mental health and not excusing trauma as a like a thing that excuses behavior, right? Like a lot of my content and a lot of the talks that I do are about taking accountability by sorting my shit, right? So like everyone's got something. That doesn't excuse us from being inconsiderate, right? So to adjust for that, one needs to spend time considering oneself so that we can see where we fit in the world around us. What is acting if not role play, right? So, like, there are a lot of students who come in, they just like they cannot let control of their mind, they have to do stuff with their body, right? And fucking hate that I bring it up often, but it is noteworthy that I don't think it's an accident that Baji's emotional intelligence, which is actually the highest I've ever met in my life. It is rare I meet someone who has a higher emotional intelligence than I do. But she does. And I think the reason why she can eliminate tension so quickly is not just a familiarity with kinesthetic awareness, but also an awareness of how, like, it's a combination. It's emotional awareness, which I have. But because disassociation is a thing, when people are, like, everybody does it. Everyone copes in that way. But if you disassociate, you're not kinesthetically aware, right? So bridging that gap is something I'm going to try to do. We'll see where it goes. It's been working for me quite well. And so when I get students that I think are very anxious or stiff because they're mentally reliant on focus or whatever, I'm going to see if this can work. This is kind of an experimental thing. And I think it's useful for the student specifically because we've made progress. But when I do a lot of the physical stuff with other folks, it goes faster. And I know the student is practicing. So my thinking as a teacher is like, I'm not addressing the problem, I'm dancing around it. So as a teacher, I think I can do better. Yeah, Matt, I agree. Different tools. Yeah, Katie, there are a lot of people like this. You know, tryhards particularly, like people who use like work to kind of distract and, you know, yeah, there's a lot of folks who do this. So we'll
Sorry,
see.
I got lost in thought there for a minute. Okay.
You're good. That is the point. As long as when you're getting lost in thought, you are still able to pay attention to your body, right?
Yes.
Okay, because that's going to be the challenge. So as you were breathing, and yes, you noticed your chest. Like, how were you able to? Were you able to loosen your chest and by focusing on the verb? Was that helpful?
Well, yes. I mean,
Okay.
I'm focusing more. Yeah, I was focusing more on the objective. It's like, why am I saying these things?
Sure. Sure. That's valid. You want the psychology of it. Yeah.
But yes.
Yeah. So you want to flesh out the relationship. That does help. Yeah.
Yes.
Let's sing it again.
Say-
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're already ahead of me. Go for it.
You say the price of my love's not a price that you're willing to pay. You cry in your tea, which you hurl in the sea when you see me go by. Why so sad? Remember we made an arrangement when you went away. Now you're making me mad. Remember, despite our estrangement, I'm your man. You'll be back, soon you'll see. You'll remember you belong to me. You'll be back, time will tell. You'll remember that I served you well. Oceans rise, empires fall. You'll remember. Oh, sorry.
You're
That
good.
caught me off guard because it was so easy.
Yeah.
That caught me
Right.
off guard because it was very easy.
Yeah. Yeah. Here's the thing. And this is what I was telling Chet. We've put a lot of work into your kinesthetic awareness. You know when shit's going on, right? So I've been thinking to myself, like, why have you had trouble relaxing it? And then, because I have the same problem, right? And what I've realized is that there has to be it's not enough to have kinesthetic awareness and emotional awareness. We have to understand the relationship between the two. And that's what I've been doing recently, and it's been really helpful. So clearly it works for you, which is dope. Because I think a real asset, and this is why I had you on the front page stream, is your delivery is really good. Like your ability to access your emotions and try to communicate that is really good. But if you feel a lot and allow yourself to feel a lot, it's hard to channel that and sing without tension, right? So that helps. Now, I want you to check on one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes what happens is, and I think this is happening because this is what I hear. If you cower, watch what happens, right? If I'm afraid of something and I want to be like, right? Traps. I think this is why maybe your soft palate kind of has a hard time lifting and why you end up with jaw tension and all this other stuff, right? So now this is going to be tough.
So what's that? I'm throwing my shoulders forward.
You're throwing them back, right? So the traps,
throwing my shoulders back.
yeah, the traps are like a V shape from going from like the shoulder and the neck to the spine down here, right?
Yeah.
So if you cower like that, and then watch what happens to the neck, because this is actually what's of consequence, is the neck. Loosen them first. My traps be tight.
Yeah. Okay, so you throw them up,
Yeah.
kind of up and back.
Yeah. So see if that can be, if that is what's happening, or if you can somehow, like, if you can pay attention to your neck, go through the words again, breathe, and pay attention. Put your hands on your neck, your traps, and your lower back, not all at the same time, just check in as you're going through the words and going through the objective and all that, and the verbs and all that stuff, and see what is it the neck, is it the traps, is it the lower back? Because that chest vulnerability was great, but that soft palate's still being dragged down, and all this high notes and stuff and all the phrasing can be even easier if we stop whatever's dragging down your soft palate. And since it worked with the chest, I think this might work as well. Give it a shot, okay?
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, this is part of the conversation I had with Baji about tension and this is what I've been trying to lock into for myself. Because that's what allowed the off-kite performance, I think, to be so effective. Was the vulnerability. And I didn't move at all. All right, I kind of stood there. I want to get to a point where I can do all that and I can inform it with movement. I think that's like the next level. Like first I got to be able to feel all this shit and be relaxed, and then I think I can add more informed movements. Right? So this is what I want to do as I prepare for my audition, particularly à fouiller. À fouiller is tough, subject matter-wise. And I've been trying to prepare for à fouiller by taking... I have a D&D character who's literally named Bajiru, which is the character in Manon, who sings that. It wouldn't be dancing. It would be just movement, like choreo. Not choreo, staging, blocking, right? Basic stuff. The problem with blocking is if it's not informed, it's just fucking weird to watch. Like, you see a lot of opera singers do this, where it's like, I'm going from point A to point B, and they like gesticulate, and it's weird. I'd rather have someone like stand still and calmly move and not be full of shit than watch that. Most people feel that way. Most people experience it that way. That's why I was able to stand still, get a standing ovation, and make a room of people cry. Right? I didn't have to move. But there's no reason I shouldn't be able to. Right? Like, I shouldn't have the position that, like, well, no, you shouldn't move. Right? That's weird. You should do what's appropriate for the performance. That might be movement, right? I'm a tenor, I'm always full of shit. Sometimes we have to grow up and cleanse the colon, you know? Yeah, having presence without being weird aura is important. Things have to be emotionally informed. And one of the things that happens, and I do this in my life, is it wasn't true when I was a kid. When I was a kid, I was very active and rambunctious and all that shit. Somewhere along the way, I made a point to make people calm. Right? And I got good at that. And the more I move, the less that's effective. Right? But what if I could move and calm people down? Right? It's a form of communication, like dance. People do that all the time. Right? Ooh, it's going well. Listen.
And no, don't change the subject, 'cause you're my favorite subject, my sweet submissive subject, my loyal bright subject, forever.
Yeah. So I think this is for a lot of the students that I have, because I've been trying to get people to get out of their heads by having them like move like crazy, so they get out of their heads. But what I think I need to address is why they get to their heads in the first place. Right? And I've usually forced people to get insanely specific with the character work, because that specificity makes a compelling performance. But if I'm working on technique, then I can just do like 3 things, right? And then I don't have to have the student go phrase by phrase or line by line on the lyrics, and we can expedite the process. I can do objective, obstacle, verb, right? Well, so Oxford, but why? So that's the question I have for you. What are you trying to achieve with your inner monologue? And why do you think that that will solve your problem? When you know, demonstrably, because we work together, and I'm not shaming you, by the way, right? There's a reason why you do it. Your homework is to understand that reason. because you know it doesn't work for singing. You know that intellectually, but you have an emotional habit somewhere, like for some reason, right? So your homework is to understand why. You know? I don't know. That can be challenging. So I don't know about CBT. Yeah. No, the intellectualization.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not feeling any tightness in my neck. I do notice that I'm I'm not standing up straight the whole time.
All right.
That's hard to.
What about your serratus?
That's fine.
Check in on that, because that's been historically something that's been tight for you.
Not today.
Not today.
It's more. Yeah, it's more. Um, yeah, it's more lower back.
Okay.
Just
Okay. So what that might be, possibly, bravado, right? Because like, how do you puff your chest? Right? Contract the lower back. So,
yes.
yeah. So try to sing it without amping yourself up. Right? This is going to be challenging because you need to overcome the obstacle. And sometimes we do that, right? We build ourselves up a little bit. Problem. It's not great for singing, right? So, and this is a guess, right? It could be anything, right? So it's up to you to understand that, but see if it is bravado. See if you can deliver the verb and stay on objective and keep both the chest vulnerable and open and the lower back loose. And pay attention to when the emotions make that difficult, because that's good information, right?
Okay. You say the price of my love's not a price that you're willing to pay. I can immediately tell. That might have my lower back.
Okay.
Okay. You say the price of my love's not a price that you're willing to pay. You cry in your tea which you hurl in the sea when you see me go by. Why so sad? Remember we made an arrangement when you went away. Now you're making me mad. Remember, despite our estrangement, I'm your man. You'll be back, soon you'll see. You'll remember you belong to me. You'll be back, time will tell. You'll remember that I served you well. Oceans rise, empires fall. You'll remember we've seen each other through it all. And when push comes to shove, I will send a fully armed battalion to remind you of my love.
That was the smoothest yet.
Yup.
Yeah. Okay. So now I'm going to give you one more tool to help you stay on task. The musical phrasing, right? Because now your technique is smooth and you have an associated with words and body and all that stuff. Now you have another thing and this is great with music, right? you can use the tune and the phrasing of the tune as a way to deliver things. So, and this is harder to kind of like, you know, you have dynamics, you have legato, you have market, like, but it's harder to kind of figure that one out. I found that the best way to do it is, how am I going to use, like, if the verb is hug, how do I phrase it like it's a hug? Like, what is that like in that moment for those words in that phrase, right? It's a little artsy fartsy, you know? But that's going to help you with your breath. That's going to help you technically, because your phrases will have more direction. Because right now your tension, this is the easiest you've ever sung, I think. Right?
Yep. No,
So
it feels like it.
Yeah. So the tension is like, because we worked on tension, you know, but, right? The mind and the body are inseparable. So now with the music, now we're gonna have more of an informed breath. So play with that and audiate the music and delivering the objective and all that while paying attention. It's a lot of this, as you know, right? While paying attention to the chest and the lower back. See what that's about. See what you can do with the music.
I'm a little unclear.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough.
The music of the lyrics, like the
like
how the
phrasing, like
the phrasing. Yes.
Like
okay.
hug. What is that phrase?
Say the price of my love's not a price that you're willing to pay. Yeah, so hold on. Let me see. Let me read the lyrics. We have seen each other through it all. Yeah.
Give me 1 second.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the processing of the specifics of how trauma informs we shouldn't discuss that with Twitch chat, right? So, just a heads up, because like, I'm fine, like, if I could make an exception for certain people, I would, but the problem is if I allow it here, even though I know you guys are having that discussion in good faith to problem solve for the benefit of your singing, the problem is if I allow it, it's really hard to enforce the trauma dumping rule. It wasn't a dump, Oxfed, you were literally trying to solve a problem. The difference is that asking my mods to be able to tell the difference is too much. That's all. So you don't have to say anything in terms of an apology. Don't feel you need to do that. Okay? It's just one of those things where we got to be logically consistent. It's unfortunate, right? I wish we could all have responsible conversations about that stuff. Yeah, it's just people can latch onto that and then be like, well, that person did it, right? And yeah. So, but that's a good observation, and you should look into that, right? So, speaking in general terms, as you go through the song and the character work and all that,
the one complaining when I am gone.
What are the triggers that are activated, and understanding why, right? And then I think if we do that, my hope is that music as a tool can actually be healing. Fingers crossed. That's wishful thinking, right? But hope, I mean, music therapy is a thing, so I don't know.
You're my
Right?
favorite subject, my sweet Submissive subject.
No problem, Katie. Like I said, it's good. It's good faith. It's just like rule enforcement has to be logically consistent, you know. So
Forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. Okay, I think I need to go further in for that, but yeah.
what do you mean by further in?
To the lyrics.
Okay. Okay.
Because it's. You say our love is draining and you can't go on. You'll be the one complaining when I am gone. And no, don't change the subject, 'cause you're my favorite subject. My sweet, submissive subject.
Okay.
My loyal, royal subject. Yes.
Yeah. I see what you're doing. I like it. Okay. Yeah, for you, words are an easier pull. There's some people who like for whom music is like a, yeah, but this is good, and it is helping your phrasing. Now the bitch, right? Make sure that the tension isn't creeping in. So so now we got to put it all together, and it's going to be a lot.
Got tension in like 5 places to pay attention to.
Well, but what's nice though now is historically that's been very challenging, right? But now we know that there is an emotional reason why that tension exists. So all we need to do is, if that tension is creeping in, we're not on objective or the verb. We're letting the obstacle win. So we need to get back on focusing on that. And the phrasing and what you're doing with the words is more specific, right? How are you using the words to do the verb? How are you using the words to do the objective, right? And so we can actually simplify all of that by focusing on the words, because that's specific and that will carry us moment to moment if we are specific with it, right?
Yeah.
So check in and try it out. And I would audiate this. I would just breathe and do it silently.
Don't audiate?
No, I would audiate it.
Yes, okay.
Yeah. I wouldn't sing it out yet, because it's just helpful to observe. Yeah.
Okay.
Right. So while you do that, I'm going to once again mute my mic. Let me know when you're good. All right. Yeah. So that was a really good improvement in the musical phrasing. Now it's usually actually how I help people with their phrasing, is like, your song resounds, eternally bound to you. Right. If you use the words and the vowels and all that stuff, it tends to help a lot with the phrasing. So I'll have to remember that one. I mean, I remember it, but like, I'm trying to work on my musicianship. I was sight reading every day, but yeah. I'm thinking about like how to have like more like fun, positive interactions that are like respectful to people's time. But it's gonna have to wait until this Bajiru project is a lot. We've been kind of crunching Too Boring Obsidian and I. Like I've been meeting with them every morning. For like, started at 8, so only 3 hours today. But it was 4 hours yesterday and then 4 hours the day before. To try and really, not just have this new storyboard down, but be able to map out all of the assets we need, and then what are the edits we're gonna do. And then get very specific so that we can break down, like, I don't know, 50-something odd shots, and then have each of those shots in a folder for individuals to download and edit and resolve, and then throw back a DRT file. to us, so that Too Boring can then pre-render and then focus on polish. And then Too Boring will have his own elaborate shots that he's working on. While that's going on, I also have to do triage. So we might not get too many reacts today because I'm tired, and no one wants to watch a tired reaction. So I might have to stream a little bit more or do the reacts off stream, like one a day or something. I don't know. Yeah, told you that's what I took away from Best Person Massage soon, eventually. But that's what I took away from Yusan. First of all, Yusan knows how to use RX. Right? Yusan has to be involved. Like they were telling me, like the reason they don't stream a lot is that they are busy administrating, but also self-care. Right? What I'm realizing as I think more about what Yusan said to me, like what Yusan said to me when when I had those 3 hours with them, was that
you want to leave me, but you can't.
the it's going to take me a long time to do every specific thing that they told me to do. Like I really need to work on that. Luckily, Mono Quark is a really skilled project manager by trade. So that helps. And that's going to help me get better at breaking down skills and managing folks and doing all that. But Mono Quark doesn't edit videos, doesn't edit audio. So I need to learn that too. And I need to get better at that. So, okay. So, nope. All right. So, you ready to give it a sing?
Sure.
See where we're at.
Let me... Yes. Okay. You say the price of my love's not a price that you're willing to pay. You cry in your tea, which you howl in the sea when you see me go by. Why so sad? Remember we made an arrangement when you went away. Now you're making me mad. Remember, despite our estrangement, I'm your man. You'll be back soon, you'll see. You'll remember you belong to me. You'll be back, time will tell. You'll remember that I served you well. Oceans rise, empires fall. We have seen each other through it all. And when push comes to shove, I will send a fully armed battalion to remind you of my love. Da 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 da
All right, I'm going to pause here. I'm going to pause you here.
Go ahead.
All right. A lot went well, but the chest was a little tight still. So the vulnerability went away.
Much attention to the lower back.
Yeah, the vulnerability went away. But hey, that's basically it. You like that. I mean, you feel it, right?
Yes, it is much easier.
Yeah. Once that, loosen up that chest. Start from the beginning. Good job on the lower back. Good job on the phrasing. Good job on using the words. Good job staying on objective. Don't let the obstacle close off your vulnerability. I know, it's a lot.
You say the price of my love's not a price that you're willing to pay. You cry in your tea, which you howl in the sea when you see me go by. Why so sad? Remember we made an arrangement when you went away. Now you're making me mad. Remember, despite our estrangement, I'm your man. You'll be back soon.
Oh wow,
You'll
sorry.
see.
I didn't realize. It's already been an hour. That happened real fast.
It has.
Yeah. Good progress though. Next thing I was going to work with you on is do that work on V to find resonance, because once your vowels are a little bit more like resonant, all this would be way easier, right? That's the only thing I can think of for you to do. But this is the work, and do it on V.
Yes.
Find the buzz. All right, got to move on to the next student. Sorry, that was so enjoyable. I didn't realize we went so fast. All right, I'll see you.
Well, thank you. This is a lot of progress. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Hey, sorry, I'm a little late. I was getting into it.
You're all right. It's all good. How you doing?
Swell with a side of dandy.
That is a swell with a side of dandy.
Yeah. Okay. What are we singing today?
All right. So audition season is coming up for me. So
Okay.
I leave it up to you. We can keep going with Music Box of Fate, or my go-to has been Homeward Bound by Marta Keen. Which would you
Okay.
prefer?
Whatever you're auditioning with is the answer.
All right. Homeward Bound by Marta Keen, then.
Okay.
All right. Just start whenever.
Huh?
In the quiet, misty morning, when the moon has gone to bed, when the sparrows stop their singing, and the sky is clear and red, when the summer's lost its gleaming, when the corn is past its prime.
I already got something for you. I already got something for you.
What's up?
All right. So this is a case of I think Leah Salonga is really good at this, like really good at this. There are certain tone qualities that you're getting with that drooped soft palate in the low and middle that make this sound really, really dope and intimate. But when you go up, the fact that the soft palate is domed is making your life harder.
Gotcha.
So you have to, and I think I had a lesson about this yesterday. Sometimes there's a genre of music, say for example, I don't know, opera, right? Soft palate lift the whole time, right? So people don't have to have this like micro control. So it's actually, I think genres where like R&B, where being able to like really, because it's like a matter of millimeters to get the difference in tone qualities. It's really subtle. We did that work last time, right?
Yes.
But we were doing Music Box of Fate. And so it was like, always lift that sucker, right?
Yeah, and that's personally why I'm glad you said to do this today, because I recently auditioned with this one, and even in my audition, I could be like, okay, where do I lift the soft palate? Where do I keep it low? What do I do?
So this is the difficult answer, is that it's dynamic. It's not down or up. It's a range of motion, right?
Right.
So you have to know, you have to be sensitive enough and aware enough to know when is the soft palate down going to screw you, and how down. So to answer this, Do you have a chair? We're gonna do what I call le technique.
I am sitting on my bed right now, so
This might work. Is the bed against the wall or have a head or something like that?
yeah, I can shift.
All right. So we're gonna call we call this le technique. Right? It's very different from some people might think it looks like something else, but it's not that other thing that it is
Okay.
not. All right. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna put your feet on the chair, on the bed in this case. All right. You're gonna do this. And like hug like this. No, it's not shrimping. You take that back. This is le technique. Okay. Because the difference is that there's a purpose. I'm not bitter. All right. So the reason why we're doing this is because oftentimes when we try to lift our soft palate, stuff drags us down. Okay, Blitz, what are you doing? You want to chill? You want to chill? What are you? Oh, hold on. You're moving the chair, you crazy dog. All right. Fine.
Blitz wants to get in on the action.
I guess.
What's up, buddy?
Rambunctious little dog. Okay. Here we are. So, what you can do is do that la technique position, and then on a bright lightly sing, like as lightly as possible. Sing through the tune. Let me see what he needs because I need to demonstrate this. And he's
You are
acting a fool.
good.
What are you doing? You got poopy? You got poopy? You look frantic, like someone shot something. What's going on? Let's go.
Wow, this is difficult.
I think he held it in for as long as he could. That's what that was. Anyway. Okay. So, when we lift this soft palate with like right?
Yeah.
It's really bright. But if we do it gently, with we can expand the rib cage and do a very gentle exhale. If I project that, that's straight up Ethel Merman, right? That's not pleasant.
Yeah.
But when I do it quiet, it's like just a little bit, and it sounds nice. So once you get that down, you can do E, and E will really fucking tell you when you need to lift your soft palate.
Okay.
So first, do the tune in le technique. That's the name of it. Okay, now you see how there's a breathy tone?
Yes.
Yeah, that means soft palate is not high enough. So what you need is an obnoxiously bright
Okay.
and just a really gentle exhale. And expanding your ribcage will help.
Sorry, I'm moving.
You're good. You're on awe. You're on awe.
Oh, got it.
You're doing awe. I want
I'm doing all you want at. Got it.
Yeah. There we go. All right, pause. All right.
Yes.
vowel good. That's still, even that is too much breath.
Okay.
It's gotta be insanely gentle. So ribcage expanded. You want basically that like little sizzle resonance, upper resonance that you get when you lift your soft palate like crazy. You basically only want that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. That last note was
That's
it.
it.
The last note was it. It should all feel like that. That's what
All
you're
right.
searching for. Go try it again. Oh, we went back to awe. Oh, we went back to awe. Yeah.
I think I've convinced myself that is a dirty vowel, and I don't know why.
Because it's not like, it doesn't sound, when you project it, like, it doesn't sound nice, right? But like when you go up, you need your soft palate lifted. Otherwise, shit's not gonna work, right? So this is always why it's a useful thing to never think good or bad, only cause and effect, right? Because now because you've judged the sound, you don't use it. And like, if you had experimented with it and not judged it, and this happens to me all the time, right? Like we have personal biases. It just happens. So I'm not like lambasting or anything like that. I'm just saying, next time you judge a sound, catch yourself. Anyway, let's do it. Oh, see, in front of me. Okay, hold on. Yeah. So now the real test. Do it on E. Oh, all right. You're gonna hate me.
I wanted to say something, but I'm keeping it in inside thought. Let's go.
You already hate me? Okay.
It's already there.
Yeah. The hatred? Yeah.
No, I could just feel it like starting to go in my nose.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Yeah. Yep. E is the ultimate test for this. Yeah. Have fun.
Woo. Also, I just want to reiterate, the inside thought is not towards you. It is towards myself.
I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not.
Woo.
Yeah, I'm just playing. You're good. I actually think I know. If you're, when you're hugging your knees, your chest, particularly like muscle above the pec, these things, not the pec, not the pec minor, but these things, it's gonna feel like you're vulnerable. Versus yeah, pain in the ass, isn't it? That's subtle.
It's very subtle, but it does make a lot of a difference.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it makes all the difference, because E is like, yeah, it's the test. Have fun. So you're still doing you're doing like an umlaut. Yeah.
Oh.
Even that's too. E. Nice. All right, actually, you got ahead of me. That's I was gonna say. So the next thing, how like when do you lift your soft palate versus when do you lower it, and how much? You actually let the musical phrasing decide, and at the end, you totally domed your soft palate on that lower note to get a more round tone, right?
Gotcha.
So you actually figured it out pretty quick before I even gave you the instructions. So thanks for making me look good. You know.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, now play with that by thinking not of on what pitch do I lift my soft palate this much, but phrase and have the association of the phrase with your soft palate. You know? Right.
Okay.
In low technique.
Just on E again, or?
On E, yes, because it is the ultimate challenge.
Got it.
Nice. Okay. Now you can get out of the low technique and sing the tune and just keep all that in mind. You know?
You got it. In the quiet, misty morning, when the moon has gone to bed, when the sparrows stop their singing, and the sky is clear and red, when the summer's lost its gleaming, when the corn is past its prime, when adventure's lost its meaning, I'll be homeward bound in time.
Nice. I want to point out one thing. So that low note, the last low note, I love. There's some low notes in your phrases you're darkening a little too much. It's such a nitpick. But like when you
nitpick.
Oh yeah. When your low notes are like that at the end, I never want to hear it different. Right? I don't need I don't need that from you. I don't care. Not in this tune. What do you like? You're not a bass baritone, you know? You don't need drama on the low note. And when you try to add drama, it actually just kind of doesn't work. Right? It just makes the vowel weird and pushy. It doesn't need to be. So don't push the low note. Make it just as easy. So when you dome your soft palate, it is less ergonomic, right?
Yeah.
So everything else has got to kind of work well. And so what's happening that creates the low notes that kind of pushes, make it like a little bit of a pushy sound, is your tongue goes back a little bit. So don't let the tongue go back a little bit thinking that that's going to make you sound better. It'll make you sound better to you, but to us, it doesn't.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Bone conduction is a bitch.
Yes.
It's full of lies and deceit. Try it again. Basically the same thing, but just be mindful of that on the low notes.
You got it.
Mm-hmm.
In the quiet, misty morning, when the moon has gone to bed, when the sparrows stop their singing, and the sky is clear and red, when the summer's lost its gleaming.
It's not as good as this time. Chest. You lost that vulnerability.
Got it.
Yeah. So that's why I wasn't as good this time. But yeah, do that. Like fix that and try again.
In the quiet, misty morning, when the moon has gone to bed, when the sparrows stop. Yes.
There's another point of
No,
tension.
you're all good.
All right. So, chest, vulnerability, armpit muscles, specifically the serratus.
Okay.
Make sure that when you breathe, that nothing in your armpit is tight.
Okay.
Audiate that. Do it silently first. Sing like pantomime. Sing like. Am I right on the armpit muscles tightening up?
You are. What the heck?
Oh, that is not the weirdest shit I do. Yeah.
I just didn't think. I mean, it makes sense, chest and armpit, but I guess I just never connected the two.
Kind of. Yeah. One tightening can also affect the other tightening. But it is not abnormal for the serratus to get tight for people who sit a lot. Yeah. What weirds me out is when I hear that people are doing this in mono, and I can hear that one side of the tongue is tight versus the other during a certain exercise. That shit weirds me out. Yeah. But I've been able to call oh, your deltoid is tight. I don't understand. But it's cool. I don't mind it. Anyway, that's enough of a flex. Now that I've Mylan maxed you, go for it.
All right. One more time then?
Yes. Armpit muscle, chest. Yeah.
In the quiet, misty morning, when the moon has gone to bed, when the sparrows stop their singing, and the sky is clear and red, when the summer's lost its gleaming, when the corn is past its prime, when adventure's lost its meaning, I'll be homeward bound in time.
All right. There's more. There's another phrase coming up, right? There's more coming up.
Yes.
Okay.
There's another part, and then it just repeats through the song.
Okay. So that was lovely and nice and gentle. For this part of the tune, expand your rib cage and keep it expanded, because what that's going to do is as you go up, right now as you ascend, you're having to raise your larynx to make an adjustment.
Okay.
It will raise naturally even if you expand your rib cage. But that's why it's nice and gentle, and it sounds really ridiculously lovely. But it comes at the cost of a little bit of evenness of the phrase. But that's okay because trade-offs, cause and effect, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna if you can do it sensitively like that, and then demonstrate in the audition that you also have power. That's helpful for the audition. It should still be artistically informed, though. You know? But anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all the shit that we did, and keep your rib cage expanded.
All right, you got it.
Mm.
Bind me not to the pasture, chain me not to the plow. Set me free to find my calling, and I'll return to you somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. It's pretty dope. I don't know what else to do with you. I gotta be honest with you. It's pretty dope. Trying to think of what else. Shit. That just sounded nice. I mean, soft palate was not as lifted. I don't really care. It's like that's like so. By doing that La Technique stuff with the soft palate exercises, you'll get better at that over time. I think your neck might be a little tight or something. Like just a little bit.
It is. I've been doing the stretches we did last time, and every time it seems like it's a bit more stiff.
Interesting. I'm wondering, so the serratus would do that as well, but you're checking in with the serratus, right?
I think I am.
Okay. I'm wondering if it's traps, possibly. Which stretch did we do? We didn't do the elephant, did we?
No, we didn't do elephant. We last time we did the neck rolls with the turning into the shoulder, and that's the one where like I don't get all the way in my shoulder, but I can feel it like a quarter of an inch beforehand. Like if my head is down to the left, if I turn it a little bit, I start feeling the stretch.
Okay, yeah, with turning. But you said that makes you stiff.
It feels stiffer when I stretch it out.
Okay.
That was what I was trying to say.
Okay. Then I think let's try working on your traps.
Okay.
So the elephant stretch is great for this because you're just dangling here, and you don't need to go all the way because like all the way would help with the serratus actually. And if it's gonna help with the serratus, might as well. So yeah, so it's always like try to leave your head and arms dangle, and it's control as much as you can with the hips. So I go to the
Okay.
this way, and then so left forward a little bit to kind of bring things this way, and then I twist, and then by twisting it back, that grunting lets me know that this is working for you.
Yes, yes, it does.
Yeah. And then, like, get comfortable doing this slowly. And then, as you do it, let the momentum carry you. Okay?
Okay.
Because if you swing through it, don't do that right now. Because if you're grunting and you're tight like this, it's working. But the momentum is a really great one for, like, really seeing how loose you can get. Yeah. But do it slowly for now, it's fine.
Gotcha.
Once you get comfortable with the movement, let me know.
All right. I think I'm pretty comfortable with it.
All right. Sing the tune while doing it.
All right.
With everything we were doing. Rib cage.
In the quiet, misty morning, when the moon has gone to bed, when the sparrows stop their singing, and the sky is clear and red,
Right.
when the summer's lost its gleaming, when the corn is past its
Okay, so challenging here. Keep that chest vulnerability. Literally very difficult because you're literally hunched over. See if you can keep it. It will require a little bit of like activity.
In the quiet, misty morning, when the moon has gone to bed, sparrows stop their singing, and the sky is clear and red. When the summer's lost its gleaming, when the corn is past its prime, when adventure's lost its meaning, I'll be homeward bound in time.
Okay.
Bind me not
I'm gonna pause you. I'm gonna pause right here.
the past.
Pause. So here's what's going well. Super loose, super all that stuff. What I'm worried about is now it sounds like really classical. Even with the doming of the soft palette and stuff like that. So the doming of the soft palette stuff's really great for like golden era musical theater. Like it's really good for that. Like basically everything else though is classical. The problem is I don't know if this tune is appropriate for that. So what we did with the soft palette where it's like it's dynamic, it depends, we have to do that now with the rib cage. So when you go up, but otherwise, so it's got to be with the phrase. Try that, because that'll make it sound less like straight classical.
Okay. Still hunched over or just sitting back up?
Still hunched over.
Okay. In the quiet, misty morning, when the moon has gone to bed, when the sparrows stop their singing, and the sky is clear and red, when the summer's lost its gleaming, when the corn is past its prime, when adventure's lost its meaning, I'll be homeward bound in time.
There we go.
Bind me not to the pasture, chain me not to the plough, set me free to find my calling, and I'll return to you somehow.
All right, pause. Great.
Yeah.
See, one thing. You see how on the eval,
Yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So the soft palette was down a little bit, right? So that's why the eval was a struggle bus for you. Otherwise, that's dope. That is very like Disney / Leah Salonga, right? Which, like, Leah Salonga defined the Disney sound for like a certain period of time, right? With like, I think she was Pocahontas and then also Mulan.
She was Pocahontas. She was the singing voice of Mulan.
Yeah, not bad, at Leah Salonga. So that's the style of Leah Salonga. When you ascend, you basically adopt classical technique. When you're in your low, it's very speech-like and intimate with the dome soft palette. And to me, like when I listen to that song, that's what I want from it. I think it sounds great.
Okay.
It's not instrumentation, it's la technique. Because it has a point and purpose. It's a difference. Just saying. So, yeah, I guess Celtic music probably could do this as well. So the big thing that unlocks this is that la technique exercise, and you know that the elephant stretcher is going to be great for like loosening up some of your problem areas. But la technique and keeping the chest very soft. All right. You have any questions?
Not on this. This was actually very enlightening. I'd been singing this song for a while and I never thought about any of this stuff. So absolutely thank you so much for helping me with this.
So I like to joke, but it's actually not that much of a bit. I am the anti-talent. I just loved this
I've
shit.
heard you say that,
Yeah.
yes.
It's not. It's kind of true. I'm the Rock Lee of singing. I had to work my ass off and learn all this shit because it didn't come natural to me. So, but like what I love about that message is like singing is a learnable skill. Get good, right? So like, yeah, you can do it. I think a lot of what gets in the way of a lot of people is the mental, like being like loose in life is kind of like important to being able to sing shit really well. And I was wound up like I was joking with Pharaoh. When we were talking, and he was like, "You need to calm down. You need to slow down." I was like, "Oh, you don't know. You don't. This is the calm version of me." You know, it was when I was working like 12, 14 hours a day, 6 days a week, sometimes 7. Just like, because like I had all this momentum. I was like, I'm going to grind like a motherfucking capitalize. And, you know, like my mind started to fray. It was weird to watch, right? But like, that is the calm version of me. When I was in conservatory, I chose to get twice a week, 4 hours of sleep a day so I could practice more. And I did that for like this semester, for like 3 or 4 months.
Wow.
Yeah. I didn't get much better at singing. Because like you have to ignore.
I can imagine not.
Yeah, you have to ignore your needs. You have to ignore your body. Yeah. It wasn't until I took up with an Alexander technique teacher and started doing Pilates that I started really developing a kinesthetic awareness. And then I realized like I had a lot of like emotional work to do. Because like it wasn't I didn't make that assessment based on technique. I made it based on lost opportunities. Because when you get your opportunities because you work 14 hours a day, guess what you have to do when you get those opportunities, right? And that's just not sustainable. So like I had all these great opportunities and all that shit. So keep it like it. I think the lesson I learned is learn whatever is hard. Learn to make it easy. Because that's like all the people that I know who like are killing it career-wise in music, which is incredibly competitive, is all the shit that's supposed to be hard is just easy for them. And I think that trying to make that the goal, I think is like a good idea in general. So, you know, make singing easy first, like we did. Right? We made sure that your soft palate was lifted. And in the first lesson, we made sure you could lift your palate the whole time. Right? Once we could do that, and it was easy, then we could add one more thing. And that was the soft palate dynamically adjusting to the phrase. Once you did that, rib cage. Now, that you can do all of that in like 2 lessons is kind of dope. It's not normal, I'll have you know. Like, you make me look good, but it ain't me. They have a lot of kinesthetic awareness. Your musicianship is good too. I wouldn't mind, maybe, like, how much character work have you done? How much acting have you done?
As someone who's been doing theater for like 20 years, and only started getting like supporting role, lead roles last year, not a whole lot.
That's what I would like to work on in this tune then. Because you sound lovely, and because you're really into the music, and it's not like the words don't mean anything to you, but it could be a little bit more specific. And that's what I want to get into. So what is the tune about?
Basically how I interpret the tune is somebody who's away from home for whatever reason. For some reason, I think a lot of people will agree with me. When I hear the song, I think of Lord of the Rings. And like they're going on that journey with the intent of coming home.
Okay. So I like to break it down into, and eventually you do this work on every phrase. But, so what do you what are the given circumstances? So like, what is the situation?
For this song, actually, I actually recently sang this song for an audition for "Come From Away" because rights to that are being let out now. Yay! Uh, I thought of it kind of like being stranded at the airport and dreaming about going home after all
Okay.
of the yeah
Okay, so you're stuck at the airport.
stuck at the airport wanting to
Okay, hold
get
on.
back home
So,
because situation is scary.
right. So given circumstances are the situation. What you want is called the objective. So what you want
Yeah.
is to get out of the damn airport, right?
Yes.
Okay. Who are you singing to specifically to achieve that?
For that audition, I kind of framed it as singing. There's a character in Come From Away. So, do you know about Come From Away at all?
Nope.
Basically, it's 9/11 and planes that dropped off in Newfoundland. Basically, just because everything is crazy. And there's one character who's so concerned about her son, who's a firefighter, fighting to save more people, and she doesn't know his whereabouts. I tried to put myself more in her shoes for that song.
Okay. So that's a lot of the given circumstances, but who are you singing to? Who's going to solve your problem? So what you've told me is the desired result, which is you want
Okay.
your son to be safe, right?
Yes.
So you want to save your son. So who are you singing to? Who's going to save your son?
That is a good question.
Yeah.
The universe, I guess.
Are you
Is that
religious
a good
at all?
answer? I was debating whether or not to say God, but I'm
You
in the
can
middle.
Say, yeah, so you can say. So the reason I hesitate to agree with the idea of targeting the universe, because that tends to not be specific. So you can
Gotcha.
you can say the universe, but personifying it helps. So if you can think of like the powers that be, it's just somebody, because like here's the thing. How are you going to interact with the universe? You're not going to be able to be specific because you're not going to have anything to react to.
Okay, that's a good point.
Like, what if you're singing to, like, an air traffic controller? Someone who can, like, directly help you.
Okay.
Maybe the air traffic controller. So this changes the given circumstances, right? So, the air traffic controller is having a panic attack and is freezing on the job. Okay, so the desired result is to save your son by calming the air traffic controller, right?
Okay.
And so the objective is to, calm the traffic controller. The objective is to get the traffic controller to do his job or her job. The obstacle is that you have to remain calm. You have to calm somebody when your son might die. Right?
Yes.
Okay. You don't have to answer me directly.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a life or death experience?
I have witnessed one.
Well, that would work out perfectly then, wouldn't it? Okay. Here's the problem with emotional recall. I don't want you to recall the memory. Pick an image, a color, an article of clothing, something that evokes the memory, that is from the memory, but not the memory. An article of clothing. Okay. Just something like that, okay? Okay. So emotional recall gets us to experience emotionally our obstacle. Okay.
Okay.
Now, this is one thing I would do at a time. When you experience the obstacle, like, so you ever see somebody, it's not necessarily hacking. Hacking is just insincere. You ever see somebody just like almost like have their therapy session on stage?
Yes.
Yeah, happens a lot. That's called playing the obstacle. No one cares about your problems. Everyone's got problems, right?
Yeah.
So you have to experience the obstacle at a very high level. Like it's got to feel kind of real to you. But it is not as important as saving your son, right?
Right.
But the only way to save your son is to pay attention to that air traffic controller. So look at the words real quick. Find a couple of moments where, like, what is your strategy to get the damn guy to calm down? This is where active verbs come in. Active verbs are your strategy. So you soothe this person, soothe, calm, hug, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, so you have to feel the given circumstances, you have to feel the obstacle, you have to want for the thing. And then all of that has to surrender to the focus on the person you're singing to. I want you to play with these ideas while well, for you, your physical tension is like almost not a problem. What might happen is that as you experience these things emotionally, you might get a little stiff in the body. Okay, and we'll work on that if that happens. But I'm not going to anticipate that it happens. Just because it always happens to me doesn't mean it's going to happen to you. So, look at the words for a little bit. What do those words have to do with the given circumstances, right?
Yeah.
What does it look like when someone's having a panic attack? How do you calm someone who's having a panic attack? And what is it like to witness a life or death situation? Take a moment to digest all that while looking at the words, and then deliver it with the techniques that we discussed.
Okay. I can already feel myself getting into my own head. Hold on.
Mm-hmm. So here's how you do it. Here's how you fix that. Audiate yourself singing. Don't sing. Go through the motions of singing and go through those things and experiment and play, move around to what are the circumstances? What is the panic thing? Play with it while physically going through the motions of singing without making the sound. Because then you can experience a little bit more. Pay attention. That's how you get out of your head.
Okay.
Okay. Try singing.
In the quiet, misty morning, when the moon has gone to bed.
Pause.
When...
Okay, hold on. Okay. Focus on all that, but Remember our technique work. Armpit, chest.
Yeah.
This is where it gets hard. When you get them, and this is true for anyone, when the emotions come, shit starts to happen to the body. And the only way that you're going to be able to stop yourself from getting super fucking stiff is one, go through the emotional, like audiate and pay attention to it as you audiate and go through that emotional work. But give a shit about calming that man down. Like, care about him. It's hard.
Okay.
Yeah. Because the other shit's got to be real too.
Gotcha. In the quiet, misty morning, when the moon has gone to bed, when the sparrows stop their singing, and the sky is clear and red, when the summer's lost its gleaming, when the corn is past its prime.
Okay, pause. Good. But soft palate with the phrasing, right? You're going back to old habits. Like the low notes are a little too pushed. The breathy tone is back because you're not lifting dynamically with everything. But I'm asking you to do a lot, right? Like you haven't had time to bake in your technique. Let you know but like try to remember. And what I would do to make it easier, that lifting of the soft palate. Remember how it's kind of gentle?
Yeah.
Use that to soothe. Use that to be unobjective. Right? Try it.
Gotcha. In the quiet, misty morning, when the moon has gone to bed, when the sparrows stop their singing, and the sky is clear and red, when the summer's lost its gleaming, when the corn is past its prime, when adventure's lost its meaning, I'll be homeward bound in time. Bind me not to the pasture, chain me not to the plow. Excuse me.
You've been singing for a while. You might be a little dehydrated. But yeah, we don't have a lot of time. So let's stop there. Because before when you were singing, I'm like, oh, that's really pretty. I feel so calm and relaxed. This time, I was like, whoa. Like, I was like, I'm paying attention. Something's happening. Right?
Okay.
There's a situation. What's going on? Right? So, you ever have a moment? The reason why I think this is so effective, in terms of like, and why Uta Hagen and so many acting theorists, I think we're brilliant with this like combination of ideas. I think we can always recall a moment where, like an interpersonal moment. To me, these are like the moments where like I can trust somebody, where they're going through their shit. It's not easy for them, for whatever's going on, but they care enough about you, right, to still be there for you. That's crazy, right? How often does that happen? Not often. How often do we get people like having emotional breakdowns and, making excuses for it, right?
Mm-hmm.
As we live life, the latter is something we learn to ignore and abhor, right? But the people that are in our lives that we trust will, even though shit is hard, express love and care for us, right?
Right.
The one I like to use, the story I like to use, is, do you know the story of Bohème? La Bohème?
It sounds familiar.
So it's like Rent, but Mimi actually dies. There's no fucking resurrection nonsense. Right. So, because like musicals have to have a happy ending for some fucking reason. No, opera's tragedy all the time, always. It's great. It's amazing. Anyway, so there was a singer who got famous from New York City Opera, Rolando Villazon, whose technique was kind of jacked, so he didn't sing for very long. But as an actor, he was incredible. And the reason he got famous is because he would end Bohème when Mimi died. Every fucking tenor. Oh, God, oh, she's dead. Oh, no. Ah. And everyone's like, yeah, okay, opera, great. What he did that like was like, oh, I got to pay attention to this. What is happening? He tried to bring her back to life by loving her. Doesn't that crush? Like committed to it. That's tragedy. Right? That's when shit starts becoming like nonsensical. But there's all of these like real feelings around it. Like, how crazy is it that during 9/11, when planes are fucking crashing everywhere and everyone's panicking, that you're singing basically a lullaby to somebody? That's crazy. But you'll do crazy because that's your fucking son. That's compelling. I'd watch the shit out of that, right?
Yeah.
So that's why it was interesting. Because if you really embody everything and you choose your circumstances, and it's a good story, right? And you're not selfish, people will care. Because they want to care. Because we all want that in our life. And it's relatable, and it speaks to the best of us. And it's entertaining. It's not how it's not like people will often talk about acting as act natural. It's actually kind of like extraordinary to be that selfless in that moment to even get what you want. But you actually do have to care. Like it's really like no one would behave like that. But it is the most entertaining shit to watch. Right?
Got it.
Yeah. Anyway, good job. Yeah. That's all I got for you.
All right. Well, thank you again. As always, I appreciate it. You have a good rest of your day.
Thank you. You too.
Bye.
Bye-bye. And sometimes there's students who just make me look good. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That is another example of, you know, because she said that she's done theater for like 20 years, right? That's an example of, if you play around a lot with shit, you have this like vocabulary of stuff that you can pull from. And having that vocabulary stuff allows you to, when you work with someone like me, like, I can tell you these things and you're like, oh, like 5 years ago I screwed around with that thing, right? So yeah, people are very scared to try shit. So yeah, not everyone can figure out the armpit muscle stuff. Yeah, but if you try, if you just try shit, right? Like the don't judge things thing was a very powerful idea for me. I used to say, I don't want to learn that. I don't want to screw with that. And sometimes you gotta. Like, I don't want to learn like metal vocals. It's not because I think it's bad. It's not because I'm shutting it off for the rest of the day. It's like, because I just got other priorities. But I'm still trying to keep myself interested in it. Because I don't want to judge it. And I might want to try it a little bit, right? So, anyway. When listening to a character work, I noticed mine isn't helpful for singing because it generates a ton of tension since I use up the shenanigans and the emotion. Objective. You gotta stay on the objective. That's the reason why. And the objective is usually the objective, the more like the question my acting teacher would always say is, where's the love? Right? Because even if you're a villain and you're doing some fucked up shit, isn't it more disturbing if it comes from a place of love? That's weird, right? So like when you're on the objective, you can get a little bit more calm. And that's the challenge. And then the other thing is having not just the kinesthetic awareness, but the emotional awareness. And then when you practice, and I like audiating for this, finding out the correlation, right? Like when I feel this tightens. Why? Like when I do, I don't want to get into it too much and reveal too much about myself, but like, you know, this is work I'm doing in EMDR, is trying to figure out like not just behaviors, which is one thing, you know, like I gotta work on that shit. Behaviors associated to memory or whatever. There's a reason, there's a psychology to it, fine. But then I try to take it into my music, right? And I'll choose whatever the thing is that I'm working on, I'll bring it into the music and I'll see how it affects my body and I'll try to solve it with my body. And that is why like talking and singing have been a self-soothing tool for me for years. Yeah. Anyway, I gotta go water. I'll be right back. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Damn, that's nice. Here's a golden cover with you, son. Let's do that. Because I'm going to talk about you, son, in a second. I was a ghost, I was alone, virgin, a kiss again. Given the throne, I don't know how to believe I was the queen that I'm meant to be. I lived 2 lives trying to play both sides, but I couldn't find my own place. Called a problem child, cause I got too wild, but now that's how I'm getting paid. I'm done hiding, now I'm shining like I'm born to be. We dream in heart, we came so far, now I believe. We're going up, 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 it's our moment. You know that together we're glowing, gonna be golden. Oh, up, up, up with our voices. You're only just a woman, gonna be golden. Oh, I'm done hiding, now I'm shining like I'm born to be. Oh, our time, no fears, no lies, that's who we're born to be. I waited so long to break these walls down, to wake up and feel like me. Put these patterns all in the past now, and finally live like the girl they all see. No more hiding, I'll be shining like I'm born to be. Cause we are hunters, voices strong, and I know I believe. We're going up, 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 it's our moment. You know that together we're glowing, gonna be golden. Oh, up, up, up with our voices. You're only just a woman, gonna be golden. Oh, I'm done hiding, now I'm shining like I'm born to be. Oh, our time, no fears, no lies, that's who we're born to be. Oh, we're gonna be golden, we're gonna be born to be All right. So I wanted to talk about how to utilize expert advice. Because a lot of times there are folks who come in and to lessons, and I can teach them how to practice a little bit, but sometimes they, like, I'll say a thing and I think I've communicated it. But then they kind of don't go off and figure it out. And what I've realized is that, because I was getting a little frustrated that folks were not like playing with stuff and trying to figure it out on their own and practicing, which necessitates play. And then I realized kind of my own hypocrisy in this. I've said it a lot that Yusan gave me like a 3-hour, I think it was like 2 or 3 hours of their time to basically be like, here's my business and here's what you need to do. So you should do this. And I was like, cool. And then I like came back to them asking for like more advice without having like really done and tried in earnest, like every kind of thing that they did, and then think about everything that they said in detail. And the reason I'm really enjoying the Bajiru project, because when I took on agreed to help with the Bajiru project, which I really haven't done much of, it's all been like Monocork and Voidstar and a lot of other people. And now like, because Monocork doesn't make music videos, there are things that are behind, because there are things that Monocork just cannot, it like doesn't think to account for, because they've never made a music video, right? And I have. And I've done a little bit of mixing, and I've done a little bit of video editing. But what I don't do well, and this was Yusan's major point, was I don't project manage well, and I don't administrate well, and I don't leverage or utilize people well. So, and they showed me examples of how they kind of do this and how they give instructions and how they think about it. And they made the point, like, they basically said, like, in so many words, like, your singing technique, Lesage, is better than mine. You know? But that's, like, you need these skills. Because, like, that's what you need. You stream too much, stream less, and work on team building. Because the team will get you there. And you don't know how to talk to them. You don't know how to do this. What needs to be done to get to the next step of content creation, which is having teams. And it was like, they did a lot of administrative stuff before they did what they were doing now. And so I've been thinking about that a lot. Because I was complaining about people not playing. And I was like, pot kettle black, right? So I, with the Bajiru project kind of being behind, I'm looking at what needs to get done. And I started to think about, like, the music video. Okay. Hannah can't draw 50 illustrations. That's not a realistic ask, right? And I could bring on more artists if I had money, but that's not the solution. And that would get weird if I drop a bunch of cash, because I've dropped a lot of cash already, but it's all like for like software that I'm going to use for other projects. Like, it's stuff that's like a lot of self-investing. But if I just drop a lot of cash to get something done, that's kind of like, and Baji learns that is kind of weird, right? So I don't want to do that. Also, I just don't want to drop a lot of cash, right? So it's weird interpersonally, and it's not good for myself. So what do we do? I looked at a lot of Yusan's music videos, and Yusan is very good at taking imagery that exists from certain assets and reusing the imagery and reusing the assets while developing the story of the music video, right? So it's in the edit and the execution and not just like raw brute force like animation, right? So I looked at the assets that we did have and that Hannah felt like she could complete, and I made like a rough storyboard outline. Then I met with Obsidian Too Boring, who I've worked with on my videos for about a year now. And of course, they had their own A's and punched it full of holes. And we worked together on the storyboard, and we got really specific. Because I've been working with Monocork on how to be a better project manager. And my problem is I am not specific enough with instructions. And I do not break down the task enough with clear enough instructions so that people can take it on. Because like what we're doing as a community involves a lot of volunteer work, right? Volunteers, you know, have to be able to pick something up, small, bite size, because it is rare and extraordinary. The fact that so many sages go fucking hard and ham is not an expectation I should have, even of the people who do that. I shouldn't have the expectation. They are volunteers. If they want to drop off the project for any reason at all, they should be able to do that. Right? So I have to make the tasks bite-sized enough, the instructions specific enough, and then track things. Right? So I looked at Monocork's Excel sheet, and I guess it was Rose and Saber who made the Excel sheet, the Google sheet, I guess. And we're trying to kind of make a Google sheet for the music video with a similar breakdown. Very specific instructions. Like everything you'd need to make it kind of idiot-proof for anybody who is actually doing it in good faith. And we're not there yet, and we've spent 3 days on this Excel sheet in like 12 hours for this Google sheet. Because we're trying to make the plan really, really good and give people room to go above and beyond. And we want to do that so that when Monocork comes back and tries to help me with the next step, which is like onboarding people and helping them and meeting with them, you know, and creating teams, that all of that's ready and that I played. We have erased and rewritten that Google sheet like several times already. But that's what it is to play. You're dealing with this in job right now and hyper-focus instructions to tasks that can be outsourced to green people. Yeah. So, and I'm learning a lot about like the audio engineering side of things. Like Voidstar is going hero mode. I need to go hero mode. Like I need to step up. I need to, like, I'm trying to do more triages. I'm trying to do a lot more. So I'm trying to get my hands dirty on everything and go deep on everything so I understand it all. Yeah, Void is doing a lot. I am trying to get done a lot of triages to the point where I probably can only do like a couple reacts today because I have 8 patron reacts, which is awesome. That's awesome. I thank you everyone who's supporting the channel through that. It's tough because we're behind. We don't have a lot of time. So I'm trying to balance that. I'm trying to get it all done. And in the meantime, So there's all that, right? The other thing Yusan talked to me about was my mental. They were like, you don't take care of yourself. How often do you go out for a walk? I was like, I don't go outside. They were like, oh, right. So, you know, and they were like, take out your shit in the music, right? You know, organize your thoughts. You know, if you got to do it, you know, text dump, voice dump into an LLM and have it spit back to you and engage with that, just so you can engage with your thoughts and interact with your thoughts. Like, spend time with yourself and on yourself. So I started playing. I started playing with a therapist gave me like a bunch of like here's like trauma responses, here's the categories, here's like exercises and stuff like that. So I've been doing that, but like bringing that to the music. And what is one of the reasons why I've been teaching a lot of like staying on objective and do for the other, because that is compelling and will help you with tension, yada yada yada, right? All that acting stuff that is very real. But one of the things I want to do personally, and has been a goal of mine for a while now, is I want to help people, right? So my problem has been that my problems have become a little overwhelming. The challenge is I don't want to stop helping people. I don't want to stop interacting with people. I don't want to stop peopling just because I have problems. That's not really how, you can't really do that as an adult. So, like, how do I do it? How am I playing with that, right? The singing and putting it in the music. All of this is advice that Yusan gave me in terms of like, here is the work you need to do. But I cannot ask Yusan to break down for me everything that I need to do specifically for me for every one of my little problems. They're not my life coach, right? They were generous enough to give me their time, which is valuable as fuck, for free, 2 to 3 hours, right? Think of the opportunity cost. Think of what Yusan does. Yusan, their side hustle is live streaming with Iron Mouse. That's Yusan's side hustle, which is the craziest flex, right? And they're like, streaming is just fun, right? And what was interesting to me was that their advice on business matters and administration was very similar to my advice that I give on singing. There's a stage of experience where everyone wants to be results oriented, but there's a stage of experience that comes later where you know cause and effect. You know, if you work on the process, if you do the work, you know what work gets the results you want. So you never focus on the results because you just do the work, right? And that's the problem I think I had and that I've been having is I'd always put a deadline. I'd always like, you know, and obviously deadlines are great and important, right? But I'd want things faster before I even understood the process. I'd set the goal or the KPI or the timeline, and then I'd figure out the process. When in reality, if I don't know the process, I cannot realistically set the deadline. And the only way to learn the process is to do it a bunch. So all this is to say, the way to utilize expert advice and subject matter expert advice is don't expect handholding on every little thing. Take what they say and play with where it applies in what you're working on. And you'll find that you make a lot of progress. Like when I give people advice on singing, it gives them focus. Focus on that thing, but then play with the elements that I've told you to focus on. And I guess hold yourself accountable. Oops. My bad. Right? So like I have to do that more. And call myself out on a couple of things that I can only really fix if I slow down. And yet I still have to get a lot of shit done. So trying to make it all work. But that's life. Right? And it's a good life. By the way. You know, I get supported for teaching, which I love. I get supported for singing, which I love. And I get supported for helping people that are dope. I've been doing a little bit less than that, and as a result, I think I've been getting supported less, but that's okay. You know? Because, like, what if those people are fucking fine? What am I going to do? Hunt for the next anime girl in crisis so I can do a crash out? I don't think that that's a good idea. I don't think that's a good way to operate, right? And there are ways to be helpful that are smaller. So like the golden cover, I have like a couple of cowboy bits just to make you sound chuckle, right? As a way to say thank you for all of this help. I'm just going to give you an over the top bit, right? And we're going to do that after the Bajiru project. I was really worried. I wanted to prolong and delay doing Golden because we have the Phantom music video, we have the Music Box of Fate music video, and all that. But like, I think that we'll see. I don't want to make a promise and do all that, but like, I feel a lot more confident in doing. I don't need as many iterations. Because through the Bajiru project, I am playing with a lot of different ideas. I'm playing with a lot of different things. And I'm learning so much. So yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. Yeah. Thank you for the gifted sub. Anyway, that's a video. All right. Okay. We have to do reacts. I do a lot of deep thoughts. Yeah. And I like that people like them. Yeah, Baji said one of the reasons she trusted me quickly was because she caught a couple of those like thinking things. Yeah. So I'm without giving too much, I feel like I've let a couple different people down because I haven't been like, usually it's easy for me to do that stuff, but I've been ignorant about a few things recently. And in being ignorant, I fucked up a couple things. Nothing bad. No one's pissed. Everyone said that it's fine. Everybody. But tell that to my social anxiety. Right? But it's aggravating. Because, you know, like, I don't like fucking up. Who does? You know. Yeah. Yeah, we can't help our ignorances, and when we learn, you know, we make changes. But there are consequences, you know, even if I'm forgiven, which I am, there are consequences. So, and it sucks. That is what it is. So, yeah, I'm a little frustrated. Yeah. I'm frustrated with the circumstances, not the people. I can't even really be that frustrated with myself. Like, there are things I could have done a little bit better in hindsight, but only a little bit better. And it wouldn't have changed the fact that there are some really hard problems that I need to solve. You know, time. Patience. Oh, terrible. Oh, I gotta sit with feelings like a responsible, well-adjusted adult? Ew. Fucking gross. Anyway. Yeah, I mean, a lot of the way I try to solve problems, Matt, is just get good. Yeah. Yeah. But, like, I'm also impatient, admittedly. Like, very impatient. And that's what's hard. Because I think that, like, I don't sit well with certain things that are uncomfortable. That's what I'm trying to... That's the main squeeze. That's the main problem. So anyway. We have to do reacts. I'm stalling. I have to find a way to make reacts fun. Because if I just do this and I don't enjoy it, it's gonna suck. Well, stop stalling, but like, what? Like, how am I gonna do this? Because like, no one wants to see me go like, right? Well, only do it, but you're gonna have fun. But like, I gotta do it, right? So how do I have fun doing it? This is a creative problem. I am indeed reacting to chat. But the so I'm indeed having the thing I guess the problem I have with could I take the angle I play with the character? No. I don't think that would work. It might work. I don't think that I'll think about that actually. Can I approach React without the analytics as the primary driver? I hate that. That's what I hate. I like the analytics because it's actually beneficial to people, right? And it's the brand. It's what works. The problem with Reacts, is that like I don't get time to analyze. That's why I fucking hate it. I end up saying the same shit over and over and over again. And I don't get better. Right? So what I'm thinking of doing is this. I want to find then take more time to analyze it. Yeah. But how and why? Because it's not just that. Like it's like how? What's the production workflow, right? So this is what I've been thinking of doing. And this is what I used to do until for some reason Resolve stopped accepting my MKV codec. Yeah, but like you can't manufacture you know, the passion. And that's the problem with doing reacts when you don't want to do them. How do I get the passion going? I have to answer the question like what do I like? Right? What do I like about the thing? And hold on. Dog goes back. Stop. Give me a second. He's got to eat, and I got to close the door. I'll be right back. All right. So, the first problem for me, it's a mindset perspective problem, yeah. And then translating that into execution. So, what I can do is I can, and this is what I used to do, but it takes a lot. Co-reactioner could work, but not really for singing because there's not going to be someone who's easily on my level. I've tried that before. And it doesn't tend to work out because like it could be at like a teaching moment, and that's fine. And I could do that with students. That might be actually an interesting way. Let me write that down. So like maybe like a you know, if a student has reaction questions ahead of time, might be an interesting things to with timestamps, right? That might be cool. All right, but not always a realistic ask. So, and then the problem is that usually what students find impressive is not what's actually impressive. So like, you know, that can also be a problem sometimes. But anyway, what I used to do that I liked was I would watch a little bit of the video and then I'd do a bit. I liked that. Oh, the problem is I cannot, Hmm. Yeah, but MaxBot, like, that's doable when you're actually passionate and actually interested. Lyrics, maybe, Matt, that's not really my forte. Maybe I should. But to me, that's a songwriting thing. And I'm not that great at that. So here's what I think the problem is, and here's what I think the solution is. Now I can't change the recording codec in OBS. To test what actually will show up in Resolve. Like, that's been the problem. Whatever is going on with my MKV shit is not showing up in Resolve, and I don't know how to fix it. I can convert it to FFmpeg. I've tried to convert it with FFmpeg, and then it still doesn't work. I've converted it from NKV to MP4, doesn't work. From MKV to MOV, it doesn't work. Right? So I don't know why. But the reason why I like to do it that way is because I probably need a different codec. Okay. I think I have HVAC, which Resolve should identify, right? So I guess I could try H.264. That's what I thought, KD. Then I reinstalled it, still didn't work, right? Yeah, so the video encoder that I have is the NVEC HEVC. Yeah, so I could convert that to H.264. Yeah. I mean, my you want to talk about my constant QP is 22 with high quality, like, it's insane. Yeah. But H.264, I might try that. Let me try using FFmpeg now to convert my video file and see if that actually works. Because if that works, then I can actually fucking do something. And what I might do is I might do the reacts off stream and then rename the stream to like free lessons, because I cannot for the life of me muster the strength to react live in the way that I used to. I will fucking jump up off a building. Not really, in a video game. Like you know, I've done React videos for like 5 years the same fucking way. Oh god, it hurts. So I need a different way to do it. I need to push myself as a creator. If I don't self-improve, I hate everything. And I just want to do bits. And by the way, why do I know that's a good idea? You're not just an anime girl, Starlight Dare. Where'd that fucking start? Right? Where'd that start? That was a bit in a reaction video. And now people are screaming it at concerts that I go to, right? We must uphold the power of the bit. Anyway, I think that that's a worthwhile direction for my content, because then, like, you know, and then I feel more ethical about it. And then I could do beatbox content again without feeling like I'm just mooching off the hard work of those beatboxers. Like, it really bothers me to do that kind of stuff. Let me just CD here. And then let's try, what's an FFM command to convert to H.264? Hold on. All right. Do I have to do MP4? I don't want to do MP4. H.264 supports MKV, right? Does it? About to find out. Should. Okay, good. Dope. I love how everybody in my chat fucking knows FFmpeg. Thank you, sages. Thank you for being based as hell. I love how, like, everyone just knows video encoding. This is crazy, man. I love my community. It's not the, like, I don't attract, like I don't think I'll ever be that. Someone like, one of my OGs told me this. They were like, you're never gonna be the biggest content creator, because you're too exacting, you're too specific, you're too, like, you know, all that stuff. But you're the guy who takes someone from 8 to 10. You don't get them from 1 to 8. You're not that guy. Didn't work. Media offline. So, I don't know. I'm wondering if it's my resolve settings, because H.264 should just work. I don't get it. Could be the audio codec, but why is the video not showing, but the WAV file is? Like, if I play it. Yeah, I mean, Resolve isn't playing back, but that's probably my playback device being all jacked. I'm wondering if it's project settings. Shouldn't be. Video bit depth is at 10. Proxy media format H.264, uncompressed 10-bit. I do record, yeah, because I think that Too Boring, I think Too Boring, and, like, here, Katie, what video editor do you use? Because if you use Resolve, okay, yeah. I think I meet with them tomorrow, early, before the Tune Time thing. I might try that. Video format, QuickTime, let's capture. Yeah, I don't get it. Like, video data 10-bit. I'm wondering if it's the 10-bit instead of the 8-bit. Because there was once upon a time I was doing 709 should be fine. That's the color depth. Yeah, I don't know. I don't get it, man. Yeah. I stopped HDR. Yeah. Proxy's created as 8-bit color. Trilinear. But the video depth is still at 10-bit. Let me see if there's an FFmpeg command to convert it to HDR, and let's see if that works. All these edition codec packs aren't always needed. Should handle everything under the sun. I just have a default NVIDIA driver codec installed. It just works. For whatever reason, I don't know. Spot, any chance you're available tomorrow morning to help me with this problem? Because it's driving me nuts that I can't edit my own videos. Because believe it or not, I do enjoy video editing sometimes. And if I'm going to do React videos, I just, for the fucking life of me, cannot do them the way I used to. Like, yeah, just like I want to like plan my bits. Right? So I don't get it. I don't get what's going on with Resolve. I could update to Resolve 21. But I've reinstalled this thing a bunch, so I don't understand what's going on. And unless the nurse is here, I'll DM you, Spot. Because I got to meet with and I need to be able to help with the video editing. And I could wipe the settings, KD. You know, I could do that. I don't know. It's one of those things where like, banging my head against it is going to take energy and concentration. That's at a premium, right? So, yeah. I'll try this conversion. If it converts to, if the HDR conversion gets it to read, then like somewhere, somehow I have some sort of situation. Okay. So Spot, we'll meet tomorrow. Cause like, yeah, I just know, like, here's the thing. Yes, getting it done is important, but if people paid for it, and they did, and it sucks, that's also a problem. And I don't want my videos to suck. Wow. From 400 megabytes to 36 megabytes. Okay, H.264. I mean, all my settings are crazy though. Just want to see. Yeah, I was doing AV1 because AV1 is very exciting, but then like it's not widely adopted. Yeah. Like I'd rather have good videos and put in that extra effort and improve at this point than like shit stuff out. Pixel format. Yeah, I don't think I can convert SDR to HDR, can I? Anyway. I'll have to figure this out with Spot. I'll change the stream to just be just voice lessons today. Really? Oxfed? Oh, that's so fucking unfortunate. Oh, that's awful. That's awful. So the whole point of AV1, I mean, it's still a better compression thing, but Jesus. That's unfortunate. Yeah, I could just bang it out with AI, I guess, until like I find some random shit that works, but also like screw that. Like I'll just Spot's goated at video codec shit, so I'll just do that tomorrow. That's the most efficient use of my time. Because I just, for the life of me, if I have to fucking do more of this shit, I'm gonna lose my mind. Just the stock sitting here watching a thing. Ooh, here's every explanation that I always say. Oh, it's soul crushing. Oh, it's so bad. And I know it works, but I have to get better at what I do. And I don't want to just shit out things anymore. So, yeah. And I could also try updating to 21 and I mean, a message too boring. Is there a way to import settings? Like, yeah. Resolve is really picky, I found with codecs. Although my shit's so weird. And unnecessarily high quality, for what I do. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so project settings, render settings, etc. So I can ask for that. Anyway. Yeah, to me it's like that would involve, like, I'm at the point where I'm just like I need to just try shit because I don't know what the hell's going on. I've done, this is a problem I've been having for actually kind of months. Not gonna lie. I've just, like, I have editors, so I just offloaded them, but like I don't want them editing reacts. I don't want them editing my bits. Like, I want to do that. So like, yeah. Yeah. Anyway, I'll figure it out. With Spot tomorrow. I also am exhausted, unfortunately, as well. So that would make a React video very hard anyway. So yeah. I'll probably call it. And do some, I find triaging actually kind of meditative, so I'll just do a bunch of triages and I'll just like hang out in the work PC. Yeah. All right, y'all. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate your faces. Yeah, I mean, I still got to get stuff done, but like, you know, I also have to be efficient with my time to get things done. There's a lot to do, so yeah. And I think I worked like 2 14-hour days in a row, so of course I'm fucking tired. Yeah. See you later, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I'll fire.